Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Caveman to Cosmos with me, Papa Mega, in Byzantium. So as you can see, the turn is 4427, year 242 BC, and we are one turn away from city planning. What's new? Well, not much, to be quite honest. The biggest piece of news is that after significant pillaging and forces killing, we managed to sign a peace treaty with Egypt, who declared war on us not so long ago. I think that we might just about now look at if we can sign some more peace treaties, because an increasing amount of people really does not like us. Okay, not you. Anyone else? Joao. Nope. Okay, I don't really know what the problem with these people is. Or what their problem is, because most of them are nowhere near able to even remotely threaten us. Okay, so that's one. Actually, that was Montezuma, right? Where are you? No, that's Maya. Montezuma is from... Wait, where is Montezuma? I'm confused. Hold on. I'm thinking that we might try to sign some treaty with him or something. Rite of passage. No. He won't accept anything. Okay, well, that's the second person that we can sign a peace treaty with. Darius. Nope. We'd have to properly pillage him first. Menelik. What about you? Okay, Menelik would accept peace treaty as well. And that's that. So Menelik, I don't expect you to... Yeah, nothing either. Okay, so at least we signed two peace treaties. As far as our territory goes, it's all fine and going pretty well. You can see that there is a significant growth in some cities. Patra has recently grown, Vodena has recently grown, Dyrrhachium has grown. I think that Antioch has also grown. So our cities are starting to become fairly nice, because most of them are above population 10. Like Iconium has 5,000 people, Nicomedia has 5,000 people, Patra has 20,000 people. Laodicea, being a western port for us, has 50,000 people. That's amazing. Constantinople, the biggest city, has 80,000 people. So things are going really well. When we look at the stats, you can see that we are very close to having 500,000 people in our empire, which is amazing. 452,950 people at this point. Still, all of the cities are building, which is amazing. We've managed to keep the deficit, at 500, while having a full investment into science, which cut down the city planning research time for a long, by a lot, like I think 3 or 4 turns, and I've replenished the coffers by pillaging others' territories. So that's one strategy to do it. But other than that, we're doing fine. We're growing. All of the cities are actually constructing stuff, so it's not like something is hurting us. Someone mentioned in the comments, by the way, that city planning obsoletes a ton of buildings, so I'm not sure if this was a good technology to start with, but hey, strategy is set, and strategy will be carried out. So let's see what the effect is going to be. Hopefully it's not going to be drastic. 4,421 science, 501 in deficit, so let's see. Let us see. Oh hey, you're back with declaring war. Cool.
So perish everyone that shall hereafter leap over my wall.
So either I went crazy, or even though it obsoletes all of this, and yeah, it obsoletes a ton, our scientific output has increased by over 1,000. Jesus. So snare traps, ant catcher, bird caller, bone marrower, bone worker, all of these like tribal buildings, buffalo jump, grasshopper capture, childbirth hub, dining hall, drying frame, flint napper, berry gatherer, earthworm gatherer, grain gatherer, lichen gatherer, mushroom gatherer, rock gatherer, snail stick, tuber gatherers, hunter's camp, weekend burner, nutcracking stone, rock art, sharp point barrier, spearfisher, stick combat, stoneworker, termite catcher, tree carvings, tree platforms, tumulus, village hall, vision quest, walkabout, wild herbs gatherer, and wood carver have been obsolete. Hamlets can now upgrade to village. Okay, so that is a big boost. Because I don't know how much Hamlet gives us, but I think it gives +1 in production and +6 in gold. So now we get +3 and 8. Enables public works, canal system, and paper. What's public works? Oh, that is a civic. Okay. And buildings enabled. Frida Statue Workshop. Great Zimbabwe. Forbidden Palace. We get a city council. Okay, so that's an upgrade to the village hall. Which, actually, I think it obsoleted. Didn't it? Oh yeah, village hall, it's obsolete. Here we have a naval shipping warehouse, trade route yield and foreign trade route yield, but extra crime. Officium lowers crime, gives a bit of education and gives gold. Port, amazing. +2 gold, +1 culture, +1 trade route. This replaces harbor, okay, and spearfisher. And we get crime arson. Cool, so let's just check the public works and then I'm going to jump ahead and we'll look at what's going to happen. So we get charity now. If we went with public works, so we get +1 gold and +1 culture in all cities. Here we would get a lowered income, but more science and culture in all cities, and capital gets a bigger boost. We actually get a maintenance from distance to palace, cost the number of cities, which we didn't. But happiness in larger cities, extra happiness, extra health, faster construction. So this actually lowers income. It gives you a boost in culture. Disables construction of plague hospital. Well, this is gonna... I think this is gonna significantly hurt us as far as gold production goes. I can see already that this is like 250 plus it lowers the income. But I mean, it's a step ahead, so let's do it. Yep, we are at -1,000. So we will really need to tone it down. I'm gonna let it run for the 3 turns that we can. But then we'll have to go actually to about where we were before. 22 turns. 12, this is 17. Okay, we really need to increase our gold input. So I'm going to focus on that and make sure that things happen. As far as the new buildings go, Constantinople, okay, that's going to be good. Gives you extra income. Replaces tax person, okay. And this is going to lower a bit of money. Extra specialist, some culture. Great person generation, that's good. And what about those port things? Because that can be built probably, for example, in Ankara. Yep, port. Wow, it's actually a really good one. +6 gold, extra science, extra culture, trade route yield, foreign trade route. Nice, with silk, with alcohol, with fur. Tropical coast gives extra food and gold. Nice, so that's really good. That is really good. And you actually have a mined sapphire here available. So let's put that up. And then these for you. Okay. Well, the only issue that we have with Constantinople really at this point is that it's not a port city, because that would make it significantly stronger. But, oh well. I mean, whatever floats your boat, I guess. Anyway, I'll see you in probably 22 turns when we get construction. Or maybe 16. We'll see. We'll see. And I'll have to check on you, because I don't think you can actually build some of these things anymore. Huh. It's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. Turn 4446, year 217 BC. We are 1 turn away from construction. It's actually kind of interesting because we started the last update by looking at the diplomacy and signing a couple of peace treaties, only for them to immediately declare war on us yet again. I'm gonna leave it be, to be quite honest. I don't really care, but if anyone nearby, meaning for example Hatshepsut, or if, for example, Babylon would declare war on us, I'm gonna go and stomp them to the ground. I actually have a half a mind of sending a punitive expedition against Carthage, but quite honestly, it just doesn't seem like a good idea because we are kind of bad with money. Right now, we still have about 600 gold per turn deficit at maximum, so we need to deal with that before we actually start investing into expansion. Now, I'm not saying that we're not capable of doing that, especially because we're gonna soon, maybe, I'm not sure what construction is gonna bring us, but start finalizing some of the city's productions, and then we're gonna start turning them into either income or science, depending on how it's gonna go. And based on that, we can actually then build up an army and send it somewhere. But right now, most of the units that we have available are located in Constantinople. We have a bunch of older units here and some really good elephant riders, but again, they would die miserably. So the biggest target for us right now would be probably Giza, to be quite honest, because that one is in a place where you can find some nice resources. And or Morian and the Sakae coastal ports, because those could be added into our territory fairly easily and extend our reach. But other than that, I don't really have any plans for expansion right now. With the onset of Varna and what is the other one? Theodosiopolis, yes, I mispronounced that. We're having a bit of an issue with money since then. But, for example, Theodosiopolis will build a jeweler now, giving us nearly 18.5 gold extra per turn. So there is potential for many of our cities to maximize their income and actually break even. But it's not now at this point. As far as I'm concerned, I keep micromanaging our cities, making sure that they got everything they need. We continue building roads. I'm focusing on farmlands, so you can see that most of the farms now have a decent income, or at least some income in gold. You have 1 gold here, you have 3 gold here, you have 1 gold here, you have 2 gold here, 1 gold here. So that works. We're also getting extra mining from mines. Boy, this episode is full of me being very creative with English. But again, it's working. I'm still finding some places where we rebuilt the infrastructure. Right now, one of the building parties is up here, working its way north. We have Patra here. There's a couple of places that I would like to upgrade around here, though. I think we're done with all of the farms. The only farm that's left is all the way up here, dealing with the melons, so that one is going to be good. And actually, that one even has a trail. We've not been here in a while. Yeah, and there's a lumberjack here and a platinum ore. So that's the things that I keep finding out when we traverse our territory. Oh, and same thing here, sulfur, and we have a lumberjack here. So these will need to be upgraded. So you have your work set out. We have the turquoise here with a quarry and some other places. So they'll remodel the north and the other part. I actually think I didn't mention that I split them in 2 because building the roads is super quick, and we're constantly growing the amount of workers that we have based on us capturing them at our borders. And these guys are working at the farms around Dyrrhachium and will be moving south towards Dorylaeum, Edessa, and then moving back north to Adi, Nisitras, and Laodicea. Again, not everywhere we have roads. We're really focusing on places that work and on the connection between cities. So I'm not like just building roads on farms and leaving, but you actually have an existing connection from one city to another as we move. But that doesn't mean like we're actually building them everywhere. It's also kind of sad that we can build roads in hills. There we usually have trails, so where I can, I'm upgrading those to paths, so we would be able to traverse it. For example, here though, I forgot, so that's funny. But yeah, so mostly it's infrastructure building and connections. It's also upgrading buildings and working on our income and on the cities. If you look at Theodosiopolis, because we haven't really looked at it in a while, you can see that the amount of buildings here is growing, but most of the ones that we actually built got phased out, unfortunately. So we're stuck with mining camp, tablet maker walls. Walls are very important, so that's why I prioritize them, because, you know, barbarians. We have a pretty strong, I don't know if I talked about it, but we have a pretty strong border watch. I don't know where they are right now, but I have a bunch of, maybe even 10 units patrolling the borders. They constantly keep harassing people. Though I don't see it. Where are they? Here's Semiramis. That's part of the border watch. We have you. You're not. Oh, here's one. The 9th watch. Yeah, you can see they got a bunch of XP, so they are doing pretty good. Combat free. They have might 2. But we had way more. But I'm always struggling with finding. Oh, here's some. Here's the Border Archers 2, which is a chariot. You know, and here's another 10th watch, the rider. So you can see that they're, you know, really patrolling. And if I actually start rebuilding my army, the Border Watch is going to be the first one to actually invest to. Plus, we still have some of these patrols stationed around the cities. I think that we might want to either upgrade them or just reassign them to a border watch directly, because we're not really using them. There's Dorilaum Spearman here as well. Though on the other hand, you know, they're positioned strategically, so I'm not really mad about that. Here's the Sharp Axeman. But if we would spawn, say, 5 to 10 more units to do the border watch, I could pull all of these into Constantinople. And then Constantinople itself could be a hub for an army to be stationed at, and we would have a control over what we have. Okay, a lot of talking. I think we can continue with the construction. One more thing that I would like to mention is that I'm really looking forward to traversing the oceans, because there is a lot of territory that I haven't seen. I don't know if there are any islands that we could maybe visit. It would be kind of fun, and I would like to circumnavigate the globe, but with the borders of the enemies and the constant barbarian raids and everything, I'd rather keep my ships in the port where they are safe than send them out. Though, maybe if we get the next level, I'm gonna send out one and we can watch it as it goes and see what it can find. But hey, you know, many enemies everywhere that would try to sink us. Not a great thing to have.
And on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair.
This quote will forever remind me of the Watchman. Anyway, this obsoletes bamboo bridge, which is kind of good. I don't think we have bamboo bridge anywhere. Animal trainer mammoth. Okay, gets extra 5 production. I think we have the mammoth trainer up in the north. Lumberjacks gets +1 production. Thatch cutter gets +1 and +1 gold. We have a lot of them in the eastern plains, so that's good. Anibus Polar Walker 2. And leads to a bunch of technologies. We now have an immigrant. Requires amount of specialists above 10. Adds 1 population to city when joined. Is there a limit? Can be captured. This looks like this one is able to join a city if it has... No, it still needs to have a population of less than 7. Okay, then I don't know what the benefit is. City must have a population of at least 10 and will lose 2 population points to 21. Oh, okay, I got it. So we can actually move population from one city to another now. Okay, well, I can't really imagine what this would be useful, but it is possible. If we had, for example, some fast-growing cities and we really wanted to bolster a city, then it would make sense. Though, on the other hand, I mean, sacrificing 2 high-level population for 1 low-level seems really like a bad choice. But again, it's a strategic choice. It might work. So we got a bunch of world wonders. We got Askhardham. Well, I've never heard about this place. Where is it? It's a Hindu temple complex in Delhi, India. Okay, well, got it. The complex displays centuries of traditional Indian and Hindu culture, spirituality, and architecture. The building was inspired and moderated by Pramukh Swami Maharaj, the spiritual head of the Bhoksanvasi Shri Akshar Purushottam Swaminarayan Sansa. Oh my god, I so apologize. If there's anyone from India here, you must have torn your head out, hair from your head, but my biggest apology for that. Whose 3,000 volunteers helped 7,000 artisans construct Askhardham, the temple which attracts approximately 70% of all tourists who visit Delhi. Oh! Was officially opened on 6th of November 2005. It sits on the banks of the Yamuna adjacent to the proposed 2010 Commonwealth Games Village. Wow, this is an old description. The monument at the center of the complex built of the Vatsu Shastra and Pancharatra Shastra. The complex features a large central monument crafted entirely of stone, exhibitions on incidents from the life of Bhagwan Swaminarayan and the history of India, an IMAX feature, a musical fountain, and large landscape gardens. I like the IMAX especially. So this one gives 12% extra science. That's actually not bad at all. Then we have the Flavian Amphitheater, Hadrian's Wall, free wall in every city. Oh, okay. Well, this might be something that I'd be interested in. Meenakshi Temple. All cities gets extra 2 culture and an extra spread. Okay, that's not bad at all either. Olympic Games. Extra culture income. 90% military unit production. Okay, so this one is to be built somewhere where you really don't want to build any military units. The Pantheon. Okay. Extra science and culture from all buildings. Oh! Pantheon and Solomon's Temple. Oh, all of these are really nice. And we get the brick bridge. It's starting to look really nice. Yeah, we get extra income of 5 and 5. I think then the bamboo bridge gave like 1. No, 3. 3% and 1 extra trade route. While you give 5 and 5 and trade route to Odeon. What is an Odeon? Can turn 1 citizen into artist and 5 extra culture. Modern Western drama was created in Greece around 530 BC, evolving from the Dirthiram, a fertility ritual of songs, poems, and dances offered to the Greek god Dionysius. An Odeon is a large open-air structure in which such performances were held. So it's like a pre-amphitheater? Interesting. The audience sat in a semicircle of seats around a central paved dancing square orchestra. The first row of seats was reserved for important officials or priests. There was usually an altar dedicated to Dionysius somewhere in the Odeon. The Logion was a small raised platform where the performers acted the original dramas. The original dramas had at most 3 or 4 actors. The size of the stage would increase as later plays required bigger casts. Okay, well, maybe it is a different word for amphitheater. Okay, Ben Gurion won't trade meditation. Well, call me surprised. What do we have here? Can you build... Oh yes, you can build the stone bridge. So let's start with that. Then you get the wardrobe trainer officium. Okay, I can put the wardrobe trainer at the end. You can't rebuild any of the world wonders, but Vodena could build us the Hadrian's Wall. You have 324. Jesus Christ, our production skyrocketed. That is amazing. 324. And one has more? 324 is still the max production. Okay, so Vodena is gonna build the Hadrian's Wall. But let's first finish the city council, so then we have it. Cool, and then Officium. And I didn't see any other World Wonder. Was there any? Just the... No, and oh, Animal Trainer Mammoth in Nisus. Okay, is Nisus in the north? I think it is, right? Yeah, Nisus. Okay, so I think you can build the animal... 53 turns! Oh my god! But this one is needed to build Mammoth Rider, War Mammoth, Ballista Mammoth. Oh god. Okay, I'm gonna do it, but my god, is this worth it? I hope that Mammoth Riders are so good. I think we might be building this way too late. Belly Bowman, is that an upgrade to the... No, this one is a wholly new unit. First strike and good against melee. What do you upgrade to? Longbowman. Okay, but you get less city defense. And then you're upgrading to the Arquebusiers and they get no bonus. Okay, so the Bubble Bowmen are actually completely different, but we might want to look into that. And speaking of which, I actually, while I was waiting for the turn to finish, I was thinking if we don't want to send a ship out. No, we would never pass through this territory. Yeah, we can't really pass. Though there is obviously something here that we haven't seen. Oh! And there actually might be an island. Or a few. Or no, maybe this is the end this way and there's just a narrow strait here. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what the map looks like, to be honest, so I can't really comment on that. Cool. So anyway, I'll see you in 24 turns when we get the calendar. Wow, that's actually taking a while, but it's gonna enable us a bunch of world wonders and the water clock. Cool. So yeah, I'll see you in 24 turns, which might be accidental around the time that we will get the Hadrian's Wall. Oh, and you're building the Forbidden Palace. I forgot about that. Which is actually great because you don't have anything else to build, really. Yeah, and crime has been skyrocketing since we built all of those extra, smuggler shanties and so on. So I'll need to have a look at that between this and the next update because I think it might be going over 0 at some places. Turn 4470, year 186 BC, and we are 1 turn away from calendar. So what's new? Well, actually quite a lot of things are new. Our population has gotten even closer to the 500,000. We have 480,700 people now in our empire. You can see that a couple of cities have grown. Iconium, Laodicea, Advicum, most importantly, that added 10,000 people. And I think Philippopolis has grown, and there was one more here. Oh, Heraclea. I think maybe Patra has grown as well, but I'm not actually sure whether or not they were at population 16. The most important piece of news actually is that we are at 100% science investment with only minus 177 gold deficit. Now, this is a bit worse than it might seem. We have Iconium working on wealth generation. If we put it to science, you can see that our actual deficit is minus 341. But that is still way better than what we had before, where we were stuck at like 80 or maybe even 75 science to be even. This is due to the fact that Nicaea finished the Forbidden Palace, which lowers the maintenance in nearby cities. And as it is very centrally located, all of these cities around it got decreased maintenance, which actually made a difference of like 400 gold, which is amazing. I did not expect it to be so efficient. So that also allows Nicaea to build palace walls. And I'm expecting it to get some additional things. I think that they actually had the Palace Garden already. Yep. You can see that the defense here is actually pretty same. So Nicaea and Constantinople will be the centers of our power for the future decades, maybe hundreds of years. We'll see. But they are very centrally located, so good on us. What's also important is that we continue upgrading our our paths to roads. Many of the farms in the central area are already giving us gold, which is also helping with income. We have built the platinum mine here. We have built the sulfur mine here. And I think there's also one more place that got rubies recently that we're not... I forgot where it was. Was it here? Oh yeah, it's here. Yeah, we need a mine here. We have just the hamlet, but with a ruby mine, we're going to get 2 extra production and 6 extra gold, which is definitely going to be worth it. We've also started to improve the area around Theodosiopolis, because we can now reach some of the sea tiles. So I sent a workship to upgrade, well, actually build fishing boats here, which now gives us 5 food and 7 gold, which is pretty good for the city itself. Theodosiopolis is 47 turns away from population 3. Varna is about 75 turns away from population 2, but it's building the carpenter, town hall, forge, and then we can switch it to some food producing buildings, and maybe candy shop. Candy shop is always good because it gives gold. I've also invested a bit into the border patrols that we spoke about. You can see, well, the reason behind that is that some of the barbarians actually tried to trespass into our territory and attacked Theodosiopolis. I was kind of shocked by that, but our defenders held. So that prompted me to add additional units to the border. We have the sharp axes now patrolling. We have the Dorevan spearmen here. Okay, I'll actually pull you back to Constantinople. I've built 6 units of swordsmen and made them into 2 battalions. I'm not sure if I'll be able to see them somewhere because they keep moving around. I saw one of them in the north. I don't know why they were up there. I guess this is technically a border. Yeah, we have white swords here. Oh, and chuckers are here. So let's send them to automate border patrol as well. More units on the border patrol means more fun for us. And you guys are a battalion or just a unit? Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Why would we upgrade you? Let's just send you back to Constantinople as well. I'm pulling some of the units back so that we have a better idea of what we have, and sending others on the border patrol. So we have, as you see here, white swords, which are white swordsmen, and then we have somewhere black swords who are also swordsmen. Ah, here they are, white swordsmen. So those are to do additions to our border patrol, but as you saw, we also send the sharp axes. I just added another unit, so we'll have a bunch of units border patrolling, which should be fine. Plus, the amount of units in Constantinople is growing. You can see that we have a significant amount of them. We've added Dorival, Town Javelineers, and Axeman Guard. Then we have some Dark Axes here and Gold Hoarders. Now, these guys could also be immediately sent to border patrol because they are also battalions. Then we have some Elephant Riders here. You know, so our army is not doing all that bad as I felt before. So that's kind of good. We're also running out of buildings to construct. You can see that we're building a National Smelter for tin in Patra, National Smelter of copper in Constantinople. And we're going to finish the Hadrian's Wall next turn, which is also pretty good. Other than that, I'm actually pretty happy with everything. We've lost one of the assassin units, unfortunately, though. They were ambushed and destroyed, but we've already rebuilt them and sent a new one, which should be here. Yeah, Hatred of Generations are now here, and they're gonna just cull some of these units that are close to us. I might even send them to the Barbarians town. It seems like they grew here, because I've seen that some of the cities were lost to Barbarians, so I think that might actually be there. I haven't checked where it happened, but the fact that it happened tells me that the barbarians are restless, which is all the more reason to actually send more units on border patrol. It's kind of hard because, all of these units cost quite a lot of upkeep, so we need to balance it out, but considering the situation, I think that adding 2, 3, maybe 4 more units to border patrol would serve us well, and it would in the end actually work fine for us. Then we might focus on creating a bit of an army and maybe conquering one of the barbarian towns nearby. Sounds like a deal. Sounds like a good deal. But it might be better to build our own city somewhere in the south. So it depends, really.
For everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven.
So we're really uncovering a lot of these vanilla texts recently. So calendar. Community garden gets free extra food. That is great. That is great. We can now build plantation. That's also great because plantations will give us, I think, a lot of income. Yeah, +4 gold, and with spice trade. Actually, spice trade is really important for us. I have to check what it is, because that one is really important. So spice trade. Let's look at it. And allows plant picking camp to upgrade to plantation. Okay, amazing. Because I've been looking at the plant picking camps, and there really wasn't much that we could do with them. So now we can build the water clock. Gives +10% production boost and costs a bit of maintenance. Pudding given for free by Susong's workshop. Maybe needed to build Susong's workshop. Primitive magician. Susong's workshop. World Wonder. 1 free water clock in every city. That's actually not bad. That's actually a flat +10% production bonus for everything. And a royal tomb. National Wonder. That's gonna be built in Constantinople, I'm pretty sure. Canton 1 citizen. Okay. Now we need to decide what we're gonna research next, unfortunately, because we haven't really done that. So many of you have mentioned law enforcement and democracy. Democracy gives Republic, which is good. Or is it? Oh, it's not here. It's here. Republic, legislature, really, and proletariat. Law enforcement, obsolete sentry post. Do you give something else? Yeah, town patrol. Okay, so that would also be good. Sentry. You guys keep pestering me about a new religion, so I'm thinking whether or not we should switch to Hellenism. I mean, Druidism is really good, and we can keep having it, but Hellenism... What would it take? We would need athletics, which gives athletic field and public pool. Okay. And then diplomacy. Can only be researched once in a game. First discover receives a free great profit. Well, do we want to do that? I mean, Hellenism would sit well with Byzantium, to be quite honest. Where's the spice trade do? Is it in medieval? Or do we have it here? I would think that spice trade has been a classical. Feed canal system, philosophy, ancient medicine, concrete. Concrete is really good. Though I'm not entirely sure if it gives something. Well, it gives concrete mason. And reveals cement, but the ancient concrete was actually really sturdy. Ancient medicine. Oh, here is spice trade. Okay. So if we went with diplomacy, then we could, yeah. Yeah, we would need diplomacy. Oh, not the democracy, diplomacy. Okay, so ambassador's house, that's an upgrade to negotiator's hut, and we could get emporium, which gives extra trade routes. Okay, so you know what? Let's go for Hellenism. That means that the next two update, well, the next update is going to be That was, you know, plain because athletics doesn't give us much, but it is required for humanism. And then we'll go with democracy. And after that, we can go for spice trade, which will require diplomacy. Spice trade will give us a ton of building, coffee shop, roasting house, yeah. But all of these, I think, will come in time. Okay, so spice trade and anything else? Still combat sports. What have you left behind? Meditation. Enables church. It's actually a civic. Let me skip that. City, Wolf State, Church. So let's revisit it then. So yeah, okay, so that means we're gonna go for athletics and Hellenism in the next episode, and then democracy. Yeah, I think Hellenism is a good fit for us. And then we're gonna go diplomacy, spice trade, and meditation. Meditation will take 16 turns, spice trade will take 18 turns. Yeah, we're doing really good on science. So this is good. And we get the national smelter for tin. Cool, cool. A bit of fire though. But I mean, it gives a bit of production in gold and everything. And we should build the Hadrian Wall soon too, or at the distance actually. There's nothing here that you can build. You could build a royal tomb, huh? But that's not what I want you to build. Okay, so I guess you don't have anything. Crime is actually kind of high, so I don't want to build the smugglers then. Flammability is actually really high, so I don't want to build either of these. I don't want to let the people worship in the temples of the false prophets. So that means, well, here we go with wealth creation then in Patra. So Hadrian's Wall gave +2 culture and +2. We're really close to getting a great person. 25 turns, and most likely it's going to be a great engineer. 67%. That would be cool. 3 walls in every city. +1 production from engineer in all cities. Okay, that's also very beneficial. And man, that's about it. Well, the wall benefit is great though. Actually, all of our cities have walls, but I guess for the future reference, it's going to be good. So now you can murder these fools. So Egypt has been constantly bothering me. Oh hey, and they rebuilt the orchard here. Time to pillage it. What about you? Byzantine plague. Oh, you can plunder this mine, which will give us 99 gold. And it's really good. And now we can defeat the stone tool workshop. And what about you? And we're running out of places to pillage. We're actually such bastards to our enemies. I mean, I'm really not plaguing Israel anymore because they're our friends. Now I'm focusing on Mali. They have a seed camp in here. Is there a seed camp? Yeah, it is. Goodbye, seed camp. And thank you for that 1 gold. Okay, you can build us the road here. And traverse across the river. And that's that for this turn. So thank you very much for joining me for this update. I'll see you in the next episode where we're going to start with athletics. And I guess we might start seeing our income go up. Because considering the wealth... No, actually I'm thinking if we switched both of you to research, yeah, that would shave off 2 turns, and We do have the money plus we're plundering, so it might not be such a bad idea to focus on research at this point. Cool. So, thank you very much for joining me. See you next time.